Drink that. Oh, the gag reflex kicked in there. Whenever I'm cooking stuff, I'm just like, hey, want some? Lumpy, fantastic. It's always stressful cooking pasta for Italians.
Ah, you make the best pasta.
Oh, stop it. Yes. I'm in shorts. Oh, senorita. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It's a very empty looking canvas today, but today we're gonna be talking about sauces. I'm gonna rattle through a couple of sauces just to sort of like help you on your journey of cooking. Get the old whiteboard of wisdom out. Someone wrote in the comment, I'll put it up here. Oh, what's the point of using the whiteboard if you're not gonna intelligibly write on it? Tell you what, let me just take a little step back for a minute. I have extreme, I believe, ADHD. And writing things down, even though it may not be legible, it kind of helps my brain articulate where the freedom of my brain wants to flow. So, whiteboard gang, love you all. Sauces. For you, Mr. that likes things written neatly, there you go. You. Now there are these things called mother sauces, right? We've gone over bits of this in a previous video where I really wanted to explain how you can be free with them. There are a bechamel, and then what happens with a bechamel is it then blends into other things. So it could turn into a mornay. There's another one which I can't remember because it's completely irrelevant, but you chuck some onions in it. And there's another one that gets a bit spicy with some shrimp through it, which again, I can't bloody remember. But all you really need to do is learn how to make a bechamel. That is number one. Number two is a thing called a velouté. And then number three, which I like to combine these two because I think it's absolutely irrelevant separating them out, is a thing called an espagnola. Basically, these two, or these three, are all built from one fundamental thing, which is called a roux. Now, if you want to click this and sort of like screen grab this, because I'm going to rub this out in a minute. A roux is flour and butter. This one, on a very simple level, has milk. Congratulations, you have a bechamel. This one, the velouté, is a light stock, veg stock, fish stock, chicken stock. An espagnole is like a darker stock, so beef stock, veal stock, whatever. There is another one, a tomato, but I kind of think that's again another irrelevant one, so we're gonna skip that one. And then we're gonna go straight on to a hollandaise, which if we break it down into its simplest form is basically like a buttery mayonnaise with lemon juice, yeah? Before we get started on making these, I just wanted to explain to you how you can really adapt them, okay? Stay with me here. A roux is, as I said, butter and flour, right? On the simplest level, how do you be playful with this? Number one thing is cooking. So if you cook butter, melt it and warm it up to a higher temperature, it starts to burn. And you get this wonderful thing called a beurre noisette or a nutty butter. Nutty butter. You've added one delicious element of flavor into this. The flour is absolutely pointless in terms of flavor because it doesn't really taste of anything. It is there more as a thickening compound. There is nothing stopping you from having a flavored butter that starts the base for your roux. Does it matter? No. I like to keep this bit relatively simple, but give yourself a little bit of color, a little bit of flavor, and then you can build things from there. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna make all of them, and we're gonna adapt a few of them and get a little bit funky. Yeah, hope you enjoy. Fuck me, that was a long lot of talking. Let's pause there. I'm gonna make a coffee. We'll be back. Right, got my coffee. So what we'll do first, let's start with a bechamel, but we're going to talk about the old roux. If you've never made a bechamel or a roux before, all you need, what do I need? Knife. All it is basically equal parts flour and butter. I don't really feel there's like a right or a wrong consistency. You just kind of like melt some butter. I'm gonna get some more in this one. I'm gonna be all day. Traditionally with a bechamel, what you would do is you would infuse this liquid. Now there's a lot of like people going, oh, gotta make warm lube to go into the buttery flour. It doesn't, honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's also to do with color as well. If you're doing a bechamel, for example, if you have a brown roux, i.e. this bit, like you burn it and give it that nice nuttiness, it's gonna taint the flavor. So that's why you build up these other things. That was an absolutely fantastic guess. Camera 65, can you pick that up? Cheers, Greg. You brought it together, fantastic. You kind of done the job. You're not really developing any more flavor here. As soon as you add that milk, it's all gonna clump together. It always goes like this, don't worry about it. Look how bad it looks. Really bad. Lumpy, fantastic. Should have used a bigger whisk, but it's quite fun doing it like this. Yeah. Add a little bit more, and then just keep mixing. It's actually one of my favorite things to make. I remember doing this as a kid. When I first started learning to cook, I would make a pasta dish, which was absolutely revolting, which was basically pasta and bechamel on its own. No cheese, no seasoning. Oh, it made me feel really sick, but I used to really like enjoy the process. So as this warms up, you'll be like, oh, it's a bit thin, yeah. It will thicken as it warms up. You can add flavour at this stage. You can add a bit of mustard. Ooh, lovely. You can add your cheese now, and that also will turn it into your little Mornay sauce. Let's pull him off the heat. He's ready. Camera 12, can you see that? Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. No lumps. Tastes like absolutely nothing because we've done no seasoning or anything, but don't panic. Right, this one is going to be our velouté. So again, a little bit of flour. See, same base. Wet sand. And then just your stock. Exactly the same process, but all you're gonna get is a chickeny flavoured sauce that's thickened. Again, don't worry about the lumps. It looks revolting, don't panic. If you stop here, it's like the scene off of Casualty. Think of like the endless possibilities. Once you've learned how to do a sauce like this, you know, what flavourings could you get into that? Could you make that like an Asian vibes? You know, put some like seaweed and some dashi and all that kind of stuff. If you want to do like a pie filling, perfect for like pastries and all that kind of stuff. There we go, look at that, lovely. So you get no seasoning, velouté. Ever so simple. Right, you go off. Let's do, what should we do? What shall we do? Let's do the old hollandaise, but let's be a bit playful with it. You need quite a bit of butter. I'm gonna use this stock as a little bain-marie. And then I'm gonna get the world's biggest bowl. Sit like that. And then for this, you know, everyone uses egg yolk. I don't mind the little bit of egg white through there, so I do 1 whole egg. Yolky, separate-y. No, someone's gonna be weird and be like, oh, don't, oh God, I'm just gonna take this egg white out. Get out, mate. Oh, no, nah, too late. You're together. Drink that. Oh, the gag reflex kicked in there. Where's my big whisk? Ooh, stolen my big whisk. I've been absolutely stitched up. I can't find my big whisk, so all I've got is this one, and I got really hot. This is frothy butter. Now, if you're wanting to make clarified butter, all you need to do is skim off the solids, so you can pour it into a container and skim it off, but to be honest, I literally can't be bothered. That egg white made me feel a bit weird, to be honest. Okay, so I'm gonna use this whisk. All I'm gonna do is just whisk this, just to get sort of like a little bit of air into it. A little bit of heat, and you kind of like turn it into a bit of like a sabayon. Don't know why I paused there. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. Oh no, see, look, you can't even, where are the, this butter, you don't want it to be roasting hot, because if you think, I think eggs cook at something like 60 something degrees. So if it's over 60 something degrees, you're gonna start to scramble your eggs. And you don't really need to cook your eggs either, because we live in England and you can eat raw eggs, as you've seen. So at this stage, where's my towel? To stop it from like sliding around everywhere, stick it on a towel. So I've done this in the old Thermomix, but I think it's much more rewarding doing it by hand. Right, so add a little bit, mixy, make sure it's incorporated, mixy. There we go. So when you start to see these ribbons, it means you're kind of doing a good job. It's where you need to think of the flavours. Egg and butter, they are extremely fatty. What cuts through fat? Acidity. Lemon for the hollandaise, or vinegar, which will make your béarnaise. So that's where the acidity really plays a vital role. Now, to keep this stable, did it in a previous video, so you've got to think of temperatures with this. This is where everyone goes wrong, as I was saying. Hot butter will scramble, cold butter won't really incorporate very well. You want to keep it at a lukewarm temperature. So if you're doing this on service, you can pour it into like a thermos flask and it will hold at that temperature in there, and then you can just pour it out. So, a little bit of lemon juice. Lemon juice, tell you mate, absolutely sends it, won't find that, to another level. Oh yeah. And I'll show you that in a bit. There we go, 1, 2, 3. What else do we need to do? What should we do? What am I gonna do now? Sauces. Should we make a cream sauce? I just saw some ropey cream. All you need to do is start with the old Billy basics. Pan, that's just got the leftover butter in it. Go onion base. So this is like a white wine cream sauce, which is one of the most versatile sauces. Yeah, it's not one of the classics, but it's a sauce, isn't it? Onions are cooking off. Then I'm gonna go garlic. Keep this simple. Onions, garlic. Now, yeah, it's a fucking controversial one, but you get all those chefs that come out and be like, oh yeah, pick a wine that you're gonna fucking. If you're just gonna be cooking with it, I don't see the point in using a massively expensive one, otherwise it's just such a waste. Funny story, one time, I don't know much about wine. My old man had bought like a Premier Cru or something or other, and I put it in, corked it, took the thing off, poured it in, and then sat down at dinner and he was like, where's this gone? And I was like, well, I used it in the sauce. Mental, he went mental. Right, so onions and garlic softened down, pinch of salt, go in with a load of wine, And all you want to do now is let this reduce. You want to get rid of the boozy tones, but you kind of get the little underpin of flavour. So you let this simmer away and let that reduce down. In the whole world of waste not, want not, you could put a little bit of stock in here just to sort of long it out a little bit of extra flavour in it. Look, this is now reduced down. You can take this down as far as you want. It is completely up to you, but is that delicious? Yes. All you want to take now is some very old cream. So this is from the 14th of March. I don't know if you can pick that up. And then on my wrist is the 11th of April. It's almost a month out of date. Is it all right? Absolutely it's going to be all right. Is it sealed? Yeah. No, it's totally fine. Tastes like cream. It's just cream. Get it in there. If it was blue and cheesy, we'd be in problems. Look, smell, taste, don't waste. So cream has gone in. Don't season it just yet. Let that tickle away and then we can have a little taste. If you've got any herbs, you want to put some herbs in? I've got some dried thyme here. It was actually fresh thyme once upon a time ago. Now look, here's your cream sauce. What I was thinking is I was like, oh, I've made all these sauces and we're not going to eat them. Now the only one that's not really shelf stable is this one, the old hollandaise. These two I'm going to put in the freezer, the old velouté and the bechamel. Cream sauce, I'm going to show you how to make one of my favourite dishes. I just thought we should do it, so I'll do it. So into the pan at the back, I'm going to do a bit of pasta, just some tagliatelle. So that cream sauce is something that you can have ready and waiting. You know, again, make some, put it in the fridge. Think about it, restaurants, they're not going to be sitting there going, oh, order up, table 23, we need to do a cream sauce. Jeff, have you done it? No. I've touched sausages with these three fingers, not my palms. So, bit of oil. Now, you want to pop the old sausage out of the old franger. Yeah. I kind of keep these in there as well, because it's just a waste, isn't it? The poor thing. Into here, you can just put whatever you want, any kind of veg. Normally, I'd do some like nice broccoli, but this is one of my favourite cuts called the old rangieri. Now I'm just going to clunk this up. Courgette can go in. I don't want to overcook the courgette, otherwise it'll end up being all mushy. I'm just going to let that fry. Pasta is 6 minutes off. We're going to fry this and then we'll be back in a bit. All right, bye. Okay, this is the video has taken a turn. I have a lot of Italian neighbours in the studio and one of them just popped in because I made him some focaccia. Took a whole tray. I was like, mate, I'm doing some sausage pasta, do you want it? And he was like, I'll have it. People always ask, where does the food go? I'm in a studio with 10 other people. So whenever I'm cooking stuff, I'm just like, hey, want some? There we go, wonderful. Pasta's in. The cream sauce, I'm just gonna push the thyme to the side and then the cream sauce is gonna go in. See, if you're making a creamy pasta, you've got to think what will cut through it. Lemon juice, and it needs a little bit of cheese. Cheese to finish. Let's have a little taste. Oh, it's just gonna be so hot. Does need a little bit of salt though. Pepper. Then I'm just gonna take the last little bit of lemon and then some fresh herbs. There you go. Great. There you go. One epic bowl of pasta. Here he is. Luca, get in. You just have to stand here and eat. It might have got a bit cold now, but there you go, look.
Oh, cold now.
Yeah. The old Italian, it's cold.
Buonissima.
Ah, buonissima. It's always stressful cooking pasta for Italians, but there you go.
Ah, you make the best pasta.
Ah, stop it. There we go. This is Luca. Luca makes the jewellery. The ring that my wife has, he made it. So.
Arigato.
Arrivederci. Right, I've got to make a poached egg. Eggy is almost there. If you're ever going to put something on with hollandaise, what you want to do is ensure that it is dry, because if you've got moisture, you pour that in, splittage, you don't want that. I'm literally just going to pop this on here. Wash! This is your hollandaise, so it's like stable. As I said, keep it somewhere a little bit warm, and then you just pour it over. A little bit of that. If I was being a perfectionist, if people were going to complain, I'd say the hollandaise needs to be a little bit thicker, but that could be thicker with more butter. But I didn't have any, so yeah, look at that. It's like a floating island poached egg dessert. There you go, there's your sauces. This is your bechamel, this is your velouté. We made the creamy sauce and we made a hollandaise. So look, I hope it helps in some way, shape or form. And thank you ever so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, comment, shout out. If you want to see something, if you want to see someone, if you want me to talk about certain topics, let me know, because I'm more than happy to do that. I love cooking, I love talking. I'm gonna eat this. Oh shit, oh look at it.